we were able to save some money on our mobile device management platform because we were spending quite a bit of money to manage our mobile devices. And when we started looking at the features that were there in Google Apps, you know, it didn't have absolutely everything of some of the high-end MDMs, but it had enough that we're like, you know what, we can save some money there and just use the Google MDM platform. So from an administrative standpoint, if somebody wants to register a phone with our site now, we have to approve it from that admin panel. And what's nice is it automatically says, is the phone encrypted, does it have a PIN, and it'll set all that up for the user so that we're HIPAA compliant, we're tracking their phone, we can erase their email if they lose it, and we're applying the appropriate security permissions. Well, one of the biggest things that I found with going to the cloud, you know, at first, we were really nervous, you know? We're gonna put all of our data in the cloud. Holy cow, you know, who has access to it and how it will be protected? But the more we started looking at it as we started doing internal assessments, which are required by HIPAA, we started realizing that, you know what, we're not doing a very good job either, that we're not protecting data. And how can we improve how we protect this types of data? For example, you know, a lot of the data in healthcare is unstructured data. It's Excel spreadsheets stored out on shared drives, it's Word documents. A lot of processes are built around that. And if you ask anyone in healthcare if they can audit where those files are, no one will be able to tell you where they are because there's no good way to do that in a Microsoft environment with a Windows platform. And then we started looking at doing it in Google Docs and some of the add-ons in the marketplace that we could do that would allow us to audit documents, that allow us to tell who shared what with whom. And all of a sudden we like, you know what, we can actually be better compliant if we move to the cloud than less compliant. So the day that Google announced that they would sign a business associates agreement was really a big thing for us because it really like took a big burden off of us in doing that type of work. Now, it's not an easy transition. It's a big change for people. But once people kind of get it and they go and they get the different way of thinking that I can collaborate easier and just work with people around the area easier, it's really a huge advantage. And from my perspective, if somebody comes to me and says there's a HIPAA complaint based on this document that was shared inappropriately or something like that, I can catch it ahead of time because we can get daily reports now that show who shared a document outside of the company, who has access to it. If it's not appropriate, we can pull it back. We'll get a flag on that. If, you know, in healthcare, that's a huge issue because so many people, one of the biggest violations in healthcare is everyone emails everything. And so everyone wants to communicate that way. Well, the problem is if it has patient data in it, you can't. But people still do it. So one of the things we thought is, you know what, use Google Drive, share it securely, have an audit log, have it encrypted, have it never even leave Google's servers. How much more secure can you be? It's a lot better than sharing an email. So there's a lot of options there for auditing. There's a lot of options there for doing collaboration in a secure way, in a reportable way that I don't think exist in any other way. So I think from a HIPAA compliance standpoint, I think you're actually in better shape by putting it into a cloud infrastructure like that than you are trying to store it internally.